And then I check in my group if we are indeed live, because you never know. Yes, we are. We did it, Christian. We're live in my group. So, hello, ladies. Anyone, if you catch us live, please pop a hashtag live in the comments. Say hi, let us know you're here live. And then it helps push this live to other people.
Great.
If you're watching on replay, did you hear that? Who was that?
That was me, sorry. I've just got it there on my phone.
If you're watching on replay, please put hashtag replay so we know who's caught this on replay. So let's start the beginning. I'm still buzzing, as you can probably see from the weekend I just had. It was amazing. So for those of you who haven't read a post of mine or seen me talking about it yet, Christian and I just spent Saturday, we spent the weekend up in Birmingham and the whole day Saturday at the Glammies, which is an all-day event and then an evening event as well. The all-day event is just celebrating all the ladies and a few men, but mainly ladies who are ambassadors for Tropic and celebrating the company, celebrating their success, celebrating Susie, the founder. And it's just all things celebrative. And the atmosphere in there was just so magical. And it gets you all fired up. And then she told us all about the charities that Tropic help. She told us all about her future plans. And she told us a little bit about how she's going to finish paying up buying Lord Sugar out, which is exciting. So I've asked the lovely Christian to join me tonight because there were so many business owners there on Saturday. I thought to myself, why don't I share this business? I share the products because I love the products, because as you know, they're toxin free. And toxins in our skincare and makeup play havoc with our hormones, as well as a build up to causing all other kinds of diseases. So that's initially why I became an ambassador. And I never talk about the business. When I was there on Saturday, I saw so many successful stories and I spoke to so many ladies who are in like our age group, 40s, 50s, and 60s, who were born again and Tropic changed their life. And Christian is one of those ladies. When you told me your story, Christian, about how that you were feeling quite depressed and then you found Tropic and it changed your life. I was wondering if you could share a little bit about your story and then we can delve into how wonderful Tropic is and talk a little bit about Tropic and about the business and about the Christmas products and about everything. I'm getting all excited.
I can feel your excitement. It's so lovely. Yes, so for me, with my menopause, I got anxiety and fear. And it wasn't a known side effect of the lovely menopause. So I just sort of slowly boxed myself off. I've worked from home for myself for 30 years as a sole trader specialist accountant, and the four walls of my office became my friend, and I wouldn't even leave the house. Um, and a friend dragged me out to paint pottery, and I met Michaela Vaux, and she just said to me, I work with a natural skincare company. So my whole life I was brought up with homeopathy, and always it was holistic remedies, alternative treatments. So always delved in, felt very comfortable in that world. So because I'd always looked at skincare and used to make my own, when she said that, I was just like, it was like I just got all these chills, and it just felt, this is for you. Now, um, I actually joined for the discount because I wanted to buy 3 boxes, my Christmas presents for my 2 daughters and my sister. Had no intention of growing a business, but the universe had other plans, and that's what I love. Is my Tropic business is really run on the law of attraction and getting into flow and finding the joy in life. And with that, the people came, and it was, I can't explain it, but within a very short while, I became a leader. Like 3 months, I became a leader in Tropic, and just people came, customers came, people got that the freshness that Tropic is. It's the next best thing to making it yourself. And also, I was just embraced in the Tropic world with this kind of unconditional love. I wouldn't speak on early calls because I'd been ridiculed in the village I live in just for speaking posh, and people felt they could have a pop at me. So I didn't speak to begin with at Tropic. But I suddenly realized that, more people were saying, oh, I want to join your team, or I want to buy Tropic. So I started going on the calls, and then I was just accepted for who I was. And it was so powerful, that moment. And it's just been a beautiful journey. This is 10 years ago. So it's been
Mm.
a beautiful journey of self-development, really, because within Tropic, there are loads of holistic healers, yoga teachers, Pilates teachers, nutritionalists,
Coaches.
naturopaths, coaches, all sorts, and you've got them all there to help you on your way. And it's just been so powerful and magnificent. And the beautiful souls you meet and the stories you hear, it's just such an embracing community, unlike any I've come across.
Yeah, amazing. Amazing. And
You
I
felt
felt that.
that, didn't
I
you,
mean, I
on
knew that
Saturday?
already. I knew it already, but it just reminded me on Saturday talking with, it was like I was talking to so many women. I'm surprised I can still talk now, actually. And they were all saying a similar story to yours, very, very similar story to yours, where they were going through menopause, felt lost, and that emptiness syndrome, and then the anxiety and all kinds of things, and then finding something where all those kinds of women come together. It was just, I'm like, and then I really need to share this. I can't keep this to myself any
What's so
longer.
beautiful about Tropic is it's not one of those businesses where anybody's putting pressure on you.
No,
You don't, there isn't a sort of you must or you should. There's no sort of target set. It's your business to run as you wish. The only stipulation they make is that, please, is to buy one product in 6 months, and it
yeah,
can be a pebble for 9 quid.
that's even enough, isn't
One
it?
product in 6 months. So you can join and just be a personal shopper for yourself and enjoy the 25% off. You can share it with your family and friends and just keep it low key, or you can bring people in, you can grow a business, and you can grow it in whatever dimension you like.
Yeah. And the training is phenomenal, isn't it? That you get along with joining. You get everything at your
Absolutely.
fingertips.
So there's an online trainings, and there's no monthly charges. You pay the 198 to join, but for that you get £663 worth of products. You get brochures, you get order pads, you get a customer relations software, you get all the imagery you could want. We have a thing called Tropic Social, which can then you can feed it to Instagram. We have a thing called the Tropic Lounge where you've got all the training at your fingertips to run through as you wish. We also have Zoom calls. So on a Monday evening, we have a Zoom with Mary Claire Carlisle, who's a Hay House author and has written a book called How to Be a Money Magnet. And she's all about mindset. So it's all the woo woo stuff and
Mhm.
going with the flow, finding the joy in
Mm.
life, and then, that feeling of living in the present and being at peace, and the business growing in the way that you wish. And if you're from corporate, there's absolutely that. There are plenty of people from corporate who, run their businesses in a very organized way. You can do that too. But nobody's going to be telling you how to run your business, and nobody's going to be saying, come on, you need to recruit or anything like that. And that's the beauty of it.
I just tagged everyone we are live. Oh, Sinead's watching. So excited to be
Hooray!
part of Tropic Business, connecting with amazing women like Joe and Christian Spence.
Oh,
Thanks,
that's
Sinead.
lovely. Thanks, Sinead. So Sinead, she's fairly new to Tropic, and she came to the Glammies. It was her first one, and we had a beautiful two cottages about 15-minute drive from the
Oh,
NEC.
it's
It
gorgeous,
just
isn't
meant we had like pizza night on the Friday, and it was just really bonding. And I took all the makeup, and we all played with the makeup, and it was lovely.
it? We
But
did, and
you know, all that aside, all the ticket money, uh, we had a raffle going on. They also put all the Christmas products on the table so we can play with them at lunchtime, and then they're kind of raffled off like 50% of the cost because we've all had a go with them. But they raised £200,000 for three charities. So their charity, which they have supported for years, the Winnie Mabaso Foundation in South Africa, which is an AIDS orphanage, um, a charity called Skin, SKCIN, and that's a skin cancer charity, and Look Good, Feel Better, which supports cancer patients with personal care and well-being events. Um, and the hilarious thing was that there was £70,000 in cash. And, you know, it was so funny because Emily was like,
it?
it's hard to believe that you all came in here with £70,000 in cash in your pockets. And it
Yeah,
was just a really funny moment. But they, for the first year, allowed us to use a card, and we had a kind of QR code, and we could pay by card.
yeah, that was easier, wasn't it? Paying by card.
Much easier.
Yes, and for them to carry all that cash out of the building as well, it's like you need a security guard.
Extraordinary.
Yeah,
And
and
Tropic
that's
anyway, they give 10% of all the profits, which equates to about 1 million a year, to good causes for the environment, helping women, educating children. I mean, it's just phenomenal.
I just shared the school link, building schools
Oh,
into the
yes, with UWS, United World Schools. So Tropic, the first one they opened in Cambodia, then they opened one in Nepal, then they opened one in Madagascar. They then opened a second one in Madagascar, and they are now opening their fifth in Nepal next year. And there was something like 12 lucky ambassadors picked out of the
yeah,
audience to go with them on the
I
trip,
would
which
love
is going to
that.
be absolutely mind blowing.
Yeah, it will be. And I was going to say when we all joined met up in the cottage to go to Glammies, two of the ladies I met at last year Glammies who came again was wonderful. But Sinead and Karen and Katie, who else was it there? There was a few ladies that I'd never met
And
before.
Linda,
And Linda, that's it, and Linda. I've never met them before in my life. I've seen them on social media. But when we were in the house together, it felt like we'd known each other for years. And that's the other beauty, isn't it? Because we've all got something in common and we're all kind of into our wellness and then we have the tropic in common. It's just like a natural bond and
yeah.
it just feels really lovely.
And there were people I met at Glammies this time who I've only ever seen on Zoom. And you sort of, it's like complete stranger, really, but you're so familiar. And she's like, we've
Mm.
never actually met in real life. And I'm like, come here, give me a hug. It's just lovely.
It took us ages to get from the entrance into the hall where the show was because you were hugging so many people.
Well, I have been in for 10 years, and I've
Yeah,
run sort of 4 or 5 retreats where I've taken Tropic ambassadors away. So I've been very fortunate getting to know all the way across Tropic, not just my kind of downline, if you like. So and it just enriches my life so much. And just to
going
get
from not leaving
expertise.
your office to that,
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, no,
that's the shield,
absolutely.
isn't it?
Absolutely. And the weird thing is that my voice is now my superpower in a way. I use it to record meditations, which help children feel relaxed. Yeah, that's the irony of it.
You've got a
I
gorgeous
finally
voice.
am like, your opinion of me is none of my business. And I just be authentically myself. And,
Let them,
absolutely let them.
let them.
Absolutely. Mel Robbins.
Absolutely.
Love
Mel
it.
Robbins. So going on to the join you pack, you did mention then how much it costs and how many products we got in there. Can you say a little bit more about that?
Yes, of course. So when you sign up, you get this gorgeous box. Look at this.
It is gorgeous.
I mean, please. And
I
it's just
find in Spain on my
chock-a-block.
retreats.
I'll show you. It's it's chock-a-block with whoops, everything to do facials for any skin type. So this is a business in a box. You get
This is the
everything you
box.
need and you can go and help anybody because the way Tropic works is they have 3 cleansers. Well, in fact, they have more, but in the starter kit, you'll get 3 cleansers, you'll get 2 toners, you'll get 3 moisturizers, you'll get 3 masks, you'll get the Face Smooth, which is the physical exfoliator. You'll also get all the serums. So you'll get the Skin Dream, oh, all of them, and including the elixir, which isn't considered as well, it's a beautiful omega-3, 6, and 9. So you get that one in addition to all the serums, and you get her founding product, which is this one, the Body Smooth, which is a beautiful exfoliator with jojoba butter and macadamia nut oil and mineral rich sea salt. And it was the first product she made when she set up selling Tropic at Greenwich Market.
Yeah, we'll go into that in a second. How much does that box cost to join?
It's £198, but in it you've got £663 worth of products. So already you've
Yeah.
got a shed load of products for better than half price. It's extraordinary. And then you also get given a customer relations app. We have the full training on the lounge. We have all the imagery we could want. I think I've run through this already, haven't I? And just a massive support network as long as you step up and, get involved. There are loads of things on offer, but nobody's going to force you. But if you step forth, the more you contribute, the more you get back.
Yeah, exactly. So the more
You
you, the
also
more
get
you,
10 brochures, so you'll get 10 of the spanky new brochures. Whoop, and you'll also get the new luxury gift guide.
I'm
Oh
just trying to
my
share
word,
those
I'm
now.
so excited. And last night they launched the um, Tropic Advent calendar. Um, I mean, unbelievable how many were sold last night. And Emily, she kind of looks after ambassadors and the whole kind of connection of Tropic to ambassadors. She used to work with other brands and she basically did her research with John Lewis, Liberties, Joe Malone. She went through all the different ones who do premium quality advent calendars and
Yeah.
found out how many they make. And she's times that by 4 because Tropic Ambassador, we just go mad. It's just such, when we get new products, they quite often just sell out really quickly. But they think they've got enough to keep us all going. But when they're gone, they're gone. But the advent calendars really are excellent.
I'm just sharing now the the catalogs, the Christmas
Oh
catalogue
yes, pop those in.
into the group
I don't think I don't think the advent calendar is
in
in
the
the
Christmas.
brochure, but I've got a little.
Have you got one there to show?
Yeah, I kind of don't want to but quickly, but I don't want to ruin the surprises in case people don't want to know what's in it. But it's a beautiful box with lovely drawers and it opens out and
I've
you'll be able
already shared. I've
to.
already shared a video in the
Oh,
link.
have you? Oh,
Oh,
okay. So there it is, and you can see all the drawers are numbered, but you can turn the drawers around so then it's just green and it kind of folds out on itself so that you can close it up and store it, and it's lovely. And these beautiful brochures as well, which again you can buy for your customers if you want to. But we also have virtual copies of all of those for anybody who doesn't want to invest in the physical.
And there's lots
Some
of
people like to sit down and go through a magazine, don't they?
yeah, I like that to be honest. And there's lots of incentives as well, isn't there? So when you first
Oh,
join,
yes.
there's lots of stepping stones to give you an
Yeah.
incentive. Do you want to
So
talk about that?
nobody is forcing you to do the business, but if you choose to step forward and do the business, you get little carrots dangled. And the first one is called Leap Ahead. And that's basically in the first 2 weeks, if you do £250, you get Leap Ahead 1, you get a £20 voucher. The following 2 weeks, you do another 250, you get a £30 voucher. So that's kind of £500 in your first month. In your second month, another £500, you get a £40 voucher. And then in month 3, do £1,000 and you get a £50 voucher. So you can basically get £140 back in vouchers if you want to play the game. Um, and if you want to go mad and do 2,000 in your first 30 days, you get a Willy Wonka golden ticket and go to the Tropic Beauty Kitchen in Surrey. And you get shown around and you see where all the raw ingredients come in, how they get measured, how they cook them, how they package them, how they kind of put them in the bottles, how they then put them in the boxes. You
Yeah,
then
I
go
want to go
to
there. I really
dispatch.
want to go there.
Also, you go into the lab and you formulate products. You
Wow.
make your own lip glaze or something. And
And they're
that,
extending the lab now as well, aren't they?
sorry?
They're extending the
Oh,
lab now,
yes.
aren't they?
So she's got big plans because her final installment, for those who don't know, Susie set up after, well, she set up by herself when she was 15, but then in about 2013, I think, she started the ambassador um, program. And I can't remember where I was going with this.
Why she's paying back Lord
Oh,
Sugar
yes, yes. So
and
Lord Sugar invested. And then in 2023, she announced to us that she was buying him out. And she was so nervous because she
yeah,
thought, oh, if Lord Sugar goes, will everyone think, oh, I don't want to be an ambassador anymore? But quite the reverse. It was announced at a leaders' event. We all stood up, standing ovation, and she was just standing on the stage crying. She's the most humble, gorgeous soul, really heart-led, um, doing her best for humanity, the planet, and she's just so inspiring and absolutely given me my purpose.
I love that. That's what I love more, the most. I mean, I love everything about Tropic, but the fact that it gives these women back their purpose, the ones that I spoke to and yourself included,
Yeah.
is just massive for me. Really massive.
A reason to jump out of bed in the morning,
Yeah,
because it's like, what's going to happen today? What excitement's going to happen? And you get kind of inspired ideas about where to go, what to do. And I joined a new networking group today. And in fact, Sinead came with me. And, immediately there were 2 or 3 people in the room who I can see absolutely aligned with Tropic.
yeah.
One's a Bowen technique. She's a student for that. There's another who's training to be a kinesiologist, and there was a third who does yoga and is a sort of Thai massage lady. So, of course, I booked in to go and see all of them because I love finding out about all these different therapies. And, we can always fine tune ourselves. So, today's just been gorgeous. And then also the lady who ran the pub, I was talking to her about my son who has food trucks. And so we're going to go on Sunday and have lunch there. And he's going to meet them and see if there's, some common ground between them. So it just gets me out and about. And because I work for myself, I can go out all morning. And if necessarily, I'll work till 10 tonight if I want to. But
Yeah,
all
catch
my
up.
days are my days, and I love that.
That's brilliant. I love that so much. And anyone who's working part-time could fit this in also part-time next to what they do. And if they're full time, I spoke to a lot of ladies that were full time, started their tropic business, and then went down to part time in their job because their business got bigger, and eventually completely finished with their work and do tropic full time.
Do you know that there are quite a few teachers in Tropic now who joined? And, if you're a teacher, you've got all those people in the school, all the
Yeah.
staff who all need, to kind of look after their wellness and um, treat themselves. And these being a teacher is a very tough job these days.
Mm.
I think it always has been. But to see them sort of slowly and then be able to go a little bit part time, and when they've grown their business, to be able to give up all that marking on a weekend. Or
Yeah.
there's one lady that really comes to mind who's in Northern Ireland, and she's got 6 boys, and she was a teacher
Good.
and sort of did amateur dramatics. And she was up there on the stage being, I think, the top seller as a senior leader in the business at the Glammies. That was just so moving. Um, she did, but I think, Irish are just so gorgeous because they all talk to each other, they all look out for each other, and they all know what's going on with each other. And that, so Tropic has grown beautifully in Northern Ireland.
And a way, like you mentioned about going to network marketing groups and meeting new people, but another way you can do it, but can you explain about how the pamper parties work?
Oh,
You can either
absolutely.
have a party at your house or at a friend's
Yeah,
house?
so there's no kind of you must do your business this way, but you know, who wouldn't like somebody to come around to their house with all the Tropic products? We've also got full range of makeup. You can do foot pampers, and you sit around the table. Everybody has a take their makeup off and just feel all the products and try them. And the host gets what Tropic do is they allow us. So say you had a pamper, and say you did £1,000, you'd be able to give that host £150 worth of products, which you would only pay £30 for, and Tropic cover the rest, to
Mm.
enable us to really gift generously to the host. You can also say to somebody, "Oh, could you take some brochures into your office and share them with your colleagues? And any orders you get, I'll give you 15% of everything that you sell." But it's a simple, as women, we tell people about a lovely film we've been to see, a gorgeous shop we've visited, and we share about lovely skincare we found. And it's as simple as that. Getting a mate round, a cup of coffee round the table. Oh, have a go on this. Oh, and everybody's thinking about what's in their skincare. Do you know 80 to 90% of skincare is a side product, a sort of byproduct of the petrochemical industry?
Mm.
They take the crude oil, put it in a distillation chamber. First of all, they take off the tarmac, then they take off the diesel, the petrol, the baby oil, the
Mm.
mineral oil, which sounds a little bit nicer. Vaseline is called petroleum jelly. It's petrol, and people put it on the thinnest skin on their body. Um, and it's dead plants and animals from millions of years old.
Mm.
It's just not what we need. And then they bleach the sludge that's left around the edges, gets bleached, bit of color added, bit of smell, they can put 5% natural ingredients and call it natural.
Yeah, see,
And
that's I tell everyone that the tropics 100% because
100% plant power,
yeah,
come on.
yeah, because
And
lots of products call
100%
themselves
organic.
natural. Only
Sorry.
5%. Lots of products call themselves natural, but they're only 5%. That's crazy, isn't it? They shouldn't be
Tropic
allowed
will
to.
say on every bottle the exact percentage of organic ingredients, because there are some things that it's just not sustainable to imagine a family growing the moringa plant on an island. in the Philippines, or I'm just plucking a country out of thin air. And, they can't afford the Soil Association mark. But Susie does all her research as to how they're growing it. She buys through a cooperative. So, say that family equally has their whole crop decimated by a cyclone, that family will still be paid within the cooperative.
That's nice, isn't
It
it?
is, it's really nice.
And that's what I love about Susie.
And the
She
other thing, because
knows
they're doing small batches fresh every day, they haven't got 4 years worth of stuff in a warehouse to get through.
going off.
So when there was some new ingredient that she was talking about, which I think is going to be in the new
Yeah,
eye cream.
I
Um,
can't wait for
she
that.
can get it to market before everyone else because she's not got any um, toxic chemicals which could react in a certain way.
Yeah. So that doesn't have to be tested because she knows they're all
Well,
non-toxic.
everything's tested, everything's checked, it's all
But
got
I mean
clinical
that
trials.
when I say tested, I mean tested that they won't work together because of the
Yeah.
toxicness, because there's no
And
toxin in.
also, she hasn't got 4 years worth of products to get rid of. She can change the formulation very
Yeah,
quickly.
okay, yeah, I see. Yeah, she can change it up. She doesn't have to
And
sell
what,
it
what
for
was
you.
very interesting, you can email Susie and she responds.
Yeah.
She brings out products we request. I remember there was one lady who had a rosacea and said, please, I need a moisturizer for rosacea. And I think they were on a trip in Barbados. And there's a tree called the Tree of Life. And when the leaves fall, they still stay green. Well, she's taken that ingredient and she's put it in the skin relief, which she bought out a couple of years ago. And it's just perfect for rosacea.
See, look at that. So she
Yeah.
listens to it. She listens to the ambassadors. And I was saying on my video when we got back from the Glammies about how we were all given some samples and how she says to us, like, go back, try these, take before and after pictures, and then she waits for us to feed back to her and then decide whether she's going to put it out on the market or if she has to tweak it. And it's just, I
I
just feel
think,
like we're included in,
yeah,
what.
and I think those products she gave us is going to be the largest trial of products ever done, sort of on a new product.
Are we allowed to say what they are?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. I nearly did then because I got excited.
I think best not,
Okay.
because we don't know they're going to come out.
No.
But
But
that's the kind of inside information you get as an ambassador.
what we can share though are the Christmas products, can't we?
Absolutely. They went live yesterday.
I've got a couple here that I
So
bought
lovely.
while I was
So
there.
there's a beautiful catalogue which
I've,
Joe will share in the group.
yeah, I've shared it in the group. I'll
And
go
what's
back and check what I've
amazing
shared.
is, they go from, I forget what the cheapest was, but
About 12 quid, I think, for the
12
cheapest one.
quid. And that was the little hand cream and a lip balm. Look how pretty that is for a teacher. I mean, just gorgeous.
And these are just Christmas editions, so you won't get them after Christmas, will you? This like this in these boxes in this
No,
packaging.
no, these are all sort of limited. But, if we then say, oh, we really love the new foot stuff, could you please carry it on? She
Yeah.
will.
I got the foot stuff and I gave myself a foot spa the day I got home and it was
How was it?
amazing. Amazing.
Oh,
What
how
else was I
brilliant.
going to say? I wanted to cover while we were here. Um, so if someone wants to join up, if someone wants to give Tropic a go, then they can, you know, they need to let me know and I send them the
Just
link.
message you, and then all three of us can hop on a Zoom and just go through. It takes about 15 minutes. You
Right.
get your products the next day if it's early in the day. Um, and it's just joyous. And there's, much more we can say about the opportunity, but we don't want to sort of blow people's minds.
Yeah.
But I think the beauty is the fact that you run it as your business to fit in with your life and your family. Um, and that's what I love. Do you want me to run through the Susie's story?
Yes, run through
Oh,
Susan's
the other
story.
thing I wanted to just mention was the size of the Tropic family. So there are about 25,000 active ambassadors, and you may think, "Ooh, that sounds quite a lot," but Avon have 400,000. You can,
Yeah.
and Tropic has actually only reached 1% of the UK beauty market. So it's really tiny and it's got massive room for growth. And with having paid off Lord Sugar, Susie's investing back into the company.
Yes, that's
Next
what I want to say.
year is
Yeah, we're
planning
going
to go
global.
global.
We're
We
going
don't know which
global.
countries yet, but we're so excited.
Yes, that excites me because most of the people in this group, I think, know that I've traveled around quite a bit since leaving school. So I've got friends all over the world. And I was really sad sometimes that I can't send my shop link, my Tropic Shop link to them. But now
You you
hopefully I'll be
you
able to.
can send the link to them and they can buy direct through Tropic.
How does it get to them though?
They post it, and there are lots of different prices for different countries.
But will it go through my shop if I send them my
Yeah, yeah,
link?
yeah.
So they can buy through my link if they're abroad, if they're in, say, Spain or
Yes, yes.
I didn't realize you'd do that. So when she
Well,
says
there you
go
go.
global, does that mean she's going to open some laboratories and make it global?
The thing is, that's what she would have to do because it's freshly made.
Yeah.
Um, it can't sort of sit around. I mean, when I say it's freshly made, the products last about a year to 18 months because of the way they're designed and packaged and the inner tube technology. Um, but I think, well, I don't know. We haven't got all
It's
the
next
information
year.
yet, but I would picture they'd open a beauty kitchen in the country they next go to.
Yeah. So it's made locally, made
Yeah.
local to the
So there's
country.
no holdups in customs, etc.
And she did say as well that she's expanding the laboratory that she's got here as well, so that then they can make more products, different products, not more volume, but different kinds of products.
Just keep that steady flow of new products coming. And Lord Sugar always said that was her biggest strength, was the fact she was constantly innovating and coming out with new things. Like just a few weeks ago, we had the finishing touch. So it's a setting spray for makeup, the only one on the market without silicone in it. Now, silicone is the sort of, it's a deadly ingredient. People use it for shiny hair. Silicone goes down the plug hole, it goes into the waterways, it goes into the ocean, it's liquid plastic. We also don't need cling film over our face during the day. So, that I think is thrilling.
Yeah, and
Absolutely
I
thrilling.
borrowed yours because I don't wear makeup very often, as you can see.
No, nor do I. Nor do
But
I.
we made ourselves up for the glamours, didn't we? And I
We did.
tried it, and my
Green
makeup,
eyeshadow, green
yeah,
eyeliner.
and everything stayed in place like the whole day and the whole night. Normally,
So
I'm
good.
like, it's all over me. I want
Panda.
So
Oh,
what else do I want to say before we go? Before you touch on Susie's story, oh, what was it? Go on, you go to Susie's story, and then it'll probably come back to me.
okay, perfect. So Susie was born in Shanghai under the one-child rule and was raised by her grandma, as both her parents worked. And her grandmother was a medicinal pharmacologist and actually introduced antibiotics to China, but wouldn't allow her family to take so much as an aspirin. And she
That's
made all their personal products from scratch. Um, and when Susie was about 6, they moved to Cairns in the Northern Territories in Australia, which is where her love for the Great Barrier Reef came along. So she now supports the Reef Restoration Fund by she's got her own nursery growing climate resistant coral, which is very exciting.
Mm.
And she watched her grandmother making products from butters and oils, and all from those plants. It's called Tropic because it's between Tropic of Cancer and Capricorn, and that band is where they get most of the nutrients, the sunlight, and the product, the ingredients are bulging with nutrients. Um, and when Susie was about 15, her parents split up, and her mum sat down and she just spun a globe and put her finger on, and it landed on England. So they
Thank
moved.
goodness for that.
I know, I know. So they moved to England. Her mum didn't really speak English, and they arrived here, and her mum sold Chinese toys on Greenwich Market, but she wasn't making enough to cover the rent or her bills. So one day Susie asked for £200, which is kind of why the starter kit's 198. It's kind of like that little investment.
Mm.
But who can have an online shop for 198 quid? I don't, it's like staggering, but that's what she does. And she bought jam jars, all the raw ingredients, and then in her mum's kitchen made Body Smooth, that first product that I showed you earlier. She made 50 jars, and went to the market, and she had one for show and tell, and she had her little thermoses of hot water, and she sold out. So she had £980 able to clear their debts, and it just inspired her to carry on. So she'd make the products after school and enlist the help of her friends to sell at other markets, and slowly grew her range. And she paid her way through university with her Tropic money. And I remember her telling us the story of how she'd had a drawing on the back of her front door with a picture of a house that she planned to buy for her mum. So it's all about this manifesting, um, believing in her dreams. And she managed to put a deposit down on a house before she went off to university. And she studied a bachelor's degree in philosophy and economics at UCL, University College London, and graduated in 2010 with a 2:1, and got a job in Canary Wharf at Citibank, and thought, I've made it, this is what people dream of for making money. So she was a foreign exchange trader with 4 screens, and she mothballed Tropic because the long days. And she sat there day in, day out, 2 weeks she lasted, and her spirit was just broken.
Mm.
And a friend said to her, you need to resurrect Tropic, get it going again, get some funding to make it a success. And the friend applied for her to go on The Apprentice, and Susie had never watched it. And she was on in 2011. And it was not a happy experience. She was the youngest ever contestant, and she was quite bullied, actually. I remember watching it, and I'd love to watch it again. But it's not on demand at the moment. And she came third, and she was fired after those awful, grueling interview processes they do. And she said that she wanted to turn over £1 million of sales in her first year, and they just thought cloud cuckoo land. So soul destroyed, but she kept going with Tropic. 4 months later, she was on the You Been Fired show, and Lady Sugar was watching. And she rather liked the sound of her and wanted to try the products. So Susie had sort of 4 products at that stage, and sent a little borrow basket round to Lady Sugar, who loved it and said to Lord Sugar, invest. So he gave her £200.
Thank goodness she was watching that night. Can you
Amazing.
imagine?
Yeah, the thought that she actually watches The Apprentice. It's quite funny, isn't it? So he bought 50% of the company for 200,000, and she's run a profit ever since. And he wanted Tropic in retail's his thing, that's his strength. So he wanted it in the shops, but that wasn't possible because Tropic
Not with the
it
raw
doesn't have
ingredients.
preservatives,
No.
and anything in a shop could be as much as 4 years old through the distribution chain. So she said that's just not going to work. Well, also watching the show was a lady called Jill Eagle, and she had helped Richard Branson set up Virgin V. And so she knew all about this kind of direct selling, and she said to Susie, I'd love to come and help you, but I've got to be paid properly, I've got bills to pay, and I need your job, because Virgin V had gone into liquidation in 2010. So Jill and Susie thrashed out what we call the success plan, and we still use the same success plan today. And that was the Tropic Skincare Ambassador Program, which was started in 2013 with 400 founding members on May the 4th. May the 4th be with you.
Excellent.
And 12 years later, it's still going strong. And they announced at the weekend they've paid £40 million out to the ambassadors in sort of
Wow.
commission and
40 million.
40 million. They don't, you see, they don't have advertising campaigns, they don't have a shop. So they invest in their ambassadors. And as Susie says, my ambassadors are my heart. They're the
Mhm.
heart of my business. Their blood runs through my veins. And she said the people in her office are the kind of engine room, because she employs about 400 people now. It's just a beautiful British success story. And I've been with Tropic 10 years, as I said, and I've just never looked back.
And you've watched them grow, haven't you, in those 10
Absolutely.
years?
And I remember going the first time I went to head office, I've been about 3 times. And the first time she was in about 6 different units in this industrial estate in Croydon, and we were running in between one and the other under umbrellas. This is the laboratory, this is dispatch. And we've sort of, it's grown from there. And they now have this beautiful building, which is, it's all wrapped up in tropic, this kind of tropic pattern.
Oh, is it? Oh,
Yeah.
I'd love to see that.
But, subsequently, they've now got an entire dispatch building. And one beautiful story that came out was, there's a charity called Beauty Banks.
Yes.
And for years, Tropic have been giving them products it's basically a mission to end hygiene poverty in the UK. And Tropic have given over half their dispatch centre to help fulfill the orders for the beauty bank. And they take products in from all different beauty companies and box it up, but also put in Tropic products. And what's beautiful is the Tropic staff volunteer in their spare time to
Yeah.
pack the boxes.
Just gets better and better,
I
doesn't it?
know.
Stories
She
and
just never ceases to surprise us, and it's such a beautiful, ethical company. And she's running an ad this Christmas, which was planned for social media. And the first time she saw it was actually the day before Glammies, and she saw it and she's like, "Ooh, this is so beautiful, it needs to be on telly." So we're all like, yes, come on, let's have Tropic on telly, let's shout about this company because it's so
Mm.
beautiful.
That's why I need to shout about it more, and I'm determined to shout about it more now after going to the Grammys. It's just made me like it's selfish not to, really, isn't it?
Yeah. And
That's
the other
what
thing, somebody could sign up. And in fact, Susie's done this with the critics online. There have been, some of these influencers who've kind of go, oh, Tropic, one of those pyramid schemes, one of those MLMs. So she actually kind of emails them and say, could I hop on a Zoom with you? And they're so sort of shocked rather than, litigation. And she chats with them and she says, what I'm going to do is I'm going to sign you up as an ambassador and show you what it feels like to be an ambassador, the experience. And they're just blown away, well, of course, blown away by her because she's such a beautiful soul. And it's hilarious.
no, she did that.
And if you signed up and you've got 14 days to say, I don't like it, and send it all back and you'll get your money
That's
back.
how they say it. I don't like it.
Well, people sign up just to get the products and never do another thing, and that's fine. They drop off after 6 months. But
Yeah.
you can, it's your business.
And like you said, all you have to do is buy a lip seal in 6 months, and you don't
Four
need to drop off.
pounds, one
You keep,
product in 6 months to keep your
keep
25%
your discount.
discount. But the discount goes up the more you sell in a month. The
Yeah.
higher the you go up to 35% if you're selling 4,000 in a month.
Yeah. So that's the incentive obviously to grow your business because you get a bigger percentage off your own
And then
products.
there's a beautiful success plan, which I'll run through with anybody and explain it.
Yeah.
What it means to bring people in and to grow a team and the different levels. And oh, it's just beautiful.
Yeah, so we can do that privately, can't we? So
Yeah,
anyone
yeah,
who watches
absolutely.
this and they want to find out more and they want to find out what that plan is and how it all works, drop me a message and we can jump on a call, can't we? You
Yeah,
and I
yeah, yeah.
and whoever it is that wants to join.
Any questions? Tropic's totally transparent. There's no, and a lot of people go, it sounds too good to be true. Well, it is.
Yeah.
But it's so authentically beautiful. Yeah,
Thank you, Christian. Thank you so much for
complete pleasure. Loved it.
your time tonight. And yeah, I just
Pleasure.
couldn't stop
Thank you for
smiling
asking
and
me.
smiling. Thank you. And what I'll do is as well, because we've spoke before, haven't we? We did like a podcast talking about chemicals
Yeah,
in products. So what I'll do is I'll bring that up to the top of the feed as well for anyone who hasn't
yeah,
seen it. That's a really interesting watch.
yeah. Toxic chemicals, because remember, water is a chemical. It's
Yeah,
H2O. So toxic chemicals.
yeah,
Everything's made up of chemicals. So yeah, it's getting rid of the toxins in our
yeah,
bodies. There
toxins.
was a research done on 100 teenagers in the University of Berkeley, and they measured them for organ toxicity, and all of them had toxic organs. Babies are born with toxins in their bodies, and it's phytalates, parabens, oxybenzone, triclosan. Those are the four biggies, but there are a lot of other things. And they put them on, basically stop the tap. They stop putting on toxins on the body. And within
Their makeup,
three,
their skincare, their deodorant, their shampoo, their conditioner,
yeah, three
moisturizers.
days, they measured them again, and those levels had dropped 30%. So you can reverse it. And a lot of people only realize their hormones are shot when they hit menopause.
Yeah, yeah,
It's very interesting because triclosan, it's a hormone disruptor,
yeah,
endocrine, yeah. Anyway,
yeah,
enough for
yeah.
now.
Well, that's all in that video I just
It
talked
is.
about. So
It is.
yeah, I'll bring that up to the top of the feed. So anyone that wants to watch that,
Yeah.
please do. Thank you, Christian. I really
Complete
appreciate
pleasure.
your
Thank you,
time.
darling. And now
Lots
we're
more.
going to go and have training with Susie, aren't we, on the new products?
Yes, yes. That's what I love about the training as well. All the
Yeah.
training, they tell you about the products, you learn about the products, you learn what's in the product, you
Mm,
learn what skin type it's good for, you learn everything. You
love
can learn
it.
as much as you want, and don't have to go to any if you don't want to, do you?
Oh,
So that's yeah, yeah, can't wait for that.
glorious. Thank you, darling.
Thank you. You're wonderful.